Hi, this is Bill from AT Makers, and I'm really happy to be updating you on a project we're working on for an AT user in Sacramento. Now, that user is David Bekhour. He is a relatively young attorney in Sacramento, California. He has SMA type 2, which is a debilitating disease of the neural system, the neurons. Some of you who are Adafruit fans or are on AT Makers may know that this is the same disease that Chris Young, our friend from Indiana, deals with. Now, David reached out to us because he wanted to be able to control his own suction device. Now, if you think about going to the dentist, that's exactly the same kind of suction device we're talking about, but people with severe motor restrictions and disabilities have the need to suction out their mouth, their saliva regularly. And in David's case, he did not want to have to rely on an assistant or a family member or caregiver to do that for him, which I think is perfectly reasonable. And he's been having a hard time for several years getting that done through the proper channels, and instead he reached out to us. So as fate would have it, I was in Sacramento over the past few weeks, and I stopped by and tried to help out David, and we had some good success. So I'd like to introduce you to him and kind of show you where we ended up. So, hi, this is Bill from AT Makers, and I'm here with David Bekhour. Bekhour?
That's right.
And we are showing off a couple of interesting things we have here. The first is we have a suction device, sucks saliva and things like that. And you've tried for years to get this something you can activate on your own.
Right.
Right.
Just have the independence to do it myself.
Absolutely. And so I know you emailed the company
That's
and
right.
started a website called worthyofyourtime.com. So if you'd like to go there, you can follow along. And we were unsuccessful so far. So far. But we actually did take one apart. He shipped me one, and I went ahead and added an AT jack to it. And you'll see we have an AT switch not yet. I see. So we have an AT switch in David's hand, and he now can activate that. But it wasn't quite enough because it doesn't move the suction to your mouth. So yesterday I went to Fry's and made a kind of sort of half-hearted attempt to do this. I would love to have a robotics team in the area, in the Sacramento area, take over this, because I'd love to have this be a long-term engineering support for you. We're working on that. I have a couple teams that I'm talking to, but they're not ready yet. So in here is a Feather, a little Arduino compatible, with a relay and a servo driving software. And it's going to move this about 15 or 20 degrees when you hit your button, and then turn on. It's going to turn on your pump, and then move the servo. And then when you hit your switch again, it will move it away and turn it off. And it's going to be close enough. We may not be spot on the first attempt here, but we are doing okay. So you ready? Beautiful. That's awesome. So now David and his crew here are going to need a lot of perfecting the positioning on this. Possibly need to do some changes on speed as well. But generally speaking, this works better. It's a good start, right? All right. So I appreciate you letting us video this and share it with the folks who made all this equipment. And I will reach out to the... we're going to have a chat with the manufacturers of the suction pump, because they really should be adding that jack without us having to do the ugliness we had to do there, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll do that, and I'm glad this is working for you.
Absolutely. Awesome.
All right. Great. Bye. So just to very quickly review what we actually did here, we took an off-the-shelf commercial portable suction device, cracked it open, and added a AT jack in parallel with the main power switch. That let David turn it on and off, but that wasn't enough. He needed to be able to move the suction tube to his mouth. To do that, I just looked at what I had. I had a Bluefruit Feather, a relay wing on me, of course, and I ran to Fry's and bought a very inexpensive servo motor. As you can see, it's a pretty basic circuit. The relay wing is just popped onto the Feather, and we have 3 wires going out to the servo. Once that was done, it was just basic hacking. We have some metal supports, a Pelican box, a bunch of Instamorph to hold his gooseneck on, and that's all there was to it. Now, this is not the best solution in the world for him, but it works, and it's a start. And if you're in the Sacramento area and you want to get a great service project for your robotics club or any kind of a maker group, let us know. We'll be happy to get you in touch with David and give you all the help you need to get started. So I want to thank David, his family, his caregivers, and all the folks who welcomed us into their home to do this. I also want to thank the folks up at Adafruit who make the materials necessary to make this happen, and those of you who joined us on atmakers.org and our Facebook group. You guys made this a great community, and I love working with you all.